Alright, here we are. As usual, due to the power of Streamlabs, I gotta make sure the audio is working when I switch it. Because Streamlabs has just showed its colors, you know. It's not the most reliable shit on the planet. So, give me a minute. Due to the power of Streamlabs, I gotta make sure. Okay, yeah, looks like it's working. At least in the beginning. So let me do this. And I've been meaning to talk about this something for about 4 months. And it's really just something that kind of interests me. But thanks anybody who may be tuning in and watching. I really appreciate it. For real, man. This is crazy how it's even going around. What's up? Give me a thumbs up if you're live or this is a recording. Yo, how gangster would I be if I could like pre-read fucking comments and then make it a fucking, recording? That'd be some gangster shit. That'd be worth, respect right there. If I could like if I could like make up all the shit. So yeah, man, you always know like I'm not even gonna put that amount of effort to figure out. Well, here we go with Streamlabs. Now the chat box for some reason just isn't showing up at all. Streamlabs, we might be lying. Yeah, the chat box is just not working at all on this. It's just not. I have no idea why it's not working. Like, why would it? There we go. Streamlabs. There you go. Don't restart the computer every time before. Oh, there it is. It caught up. I see it now. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Horton? Jen, what's up, Jen? What's up, Anthony? What's up, Mario? So if anybody ever watches the old Power Rangers, right? But the American remake, not like the original Power Rangers, because it came out like the 70s or something like that. I'm talking about like when in the 90s when it came to America. Yo, and here's the thing, man, with Power Rangers, I tried watching the original Power Rangers. Let me tell you something. Yo, that music made it, dude. Like that. All that shit. That made Power Rangers like next level hot, man. Like, try to watch the original. The Zyunga, however you pronounce that shit. The Zyunga Ranger, whatever the fuck. Try to watch that. And then try to watch when the motherfuckers, when that rock and roll music starts playing. You bet, yo, these are two whole different vibes just because that rock and roll hit. With your Patreon, I have Patreon. They keep shutting it down because they shut down the very first one I had. So if I try to make another one, they just gonna shut it down. So I only got Subscribe Star now. They keep shutting down Patreon. After I started bringing up them Ukraine webcam models, then after I brought them, like literally after I put them Ukrainian webcam models up there, that's when they got shut down. Like, we can't have this Negro talking about them Ukrainians. Shut that shit down now. And if you even think about opening up another channel, shut it down. We can't have that. The second I post that shit got deleted. That shit was gone. But one thing that I thought was so gangster, right? And it just immediately gets overlooked. I didn't even pay attention to it until I was like grown and watched it, right? Y'all remember when Tommy was the White Ranger, right? And he came back. Tommy came back with the White Tiger Zord and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he always had a shield, you know what I'm saying? But this time he always had a gangster sword. This time he had a sword that can talk. It can fly and shit, right? So go back and watch the first episode where Tommy gets he's trying to get the White Tiger Zord to get up and move, right? Go back and watch it and listen to that shit very carefully. He's talking to Saba. The sword's name was Saba. He's sitting there looking at Saba. He's sitting there holding a whole conversation with this motherfucker. Like, yeah, what's up? We gotta go fuck this monster up. Yeah, all right. Yeah, and so yeah, he goes, I summoned the power of the White Tiger Zord, because y'all don't know what fucking accent it was Saba had, but he called the White Tiger Zord out, and that motherfucker said, rush, rush, like he was a bull and shit. Why did Tommy always have these like situations where it was like like 3 total things was just all wrong about the one thing he was trying to do. Like when he was the Green Ranger, he had the fucking dagger that sounded like a synthesizer flute for some reason. But he was blowing through a mask that was covered. So wasn't no air even getting through the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even breathe out. You know what I'm saying? When there was no airflow. How was he blown into that shit? Right? And then he gets the white tiger Zord. He caught a white tiger. And the tiger Zord take off like a bull or some shit. Like it was a bull for him. Anyway. So they trying to get the white tiger Zord figured out, right? Because for some reason they couldn't figure it out, right? He was trying to run, he was falling and shit. I don't know. It's Power Rangers, right? So they fall off the Tiger Zord some kind of way, and then Tommy jumps back up, looks Saba dead in his face. Keep in mind, after Tommy had been through about 2 or 3 seasons fighting alongside with 5 other grown-ass adult Power Rangers, right? He looked Saba dead in the face, said, "My bad, bruh. I ain't never worked on a team before." I'm like, for real? Tommy just dissed the Power Rangers. He dissed them out like that? Like, on national television? He looked at us. This motherfucker looked at a talking sword and said, "Look, bruh, my bad. Like, go back and I'm not making this shit because I would play it, but they probably take me down for copyright. Because Power Rangers, that's kind of like one of them weird things where they serious about that shit for real. So they gonna fuck around and because I would play it so you guys can see it. This motherfucker looked dead at the sword, holding the conversation with this motherfucker. Said, "Yo, sorry, Saba. I just ain't never had no partner before." This motherfucker did 3 full seasons before he got that sword with 5. He was on a team with Laura, Zed, and Rita. No, correction. He was on a team with Rita. I think Rita brought him up. So he worked with Rita and all her minions. Then he switched teams, went with the Power Ranger. Tommy was so gangster, he didn't even classify his whole past as good enough to be a partner. Like, that shit was cold-blooded. I was watching that shit, and like as a grown man, I was like, "Oh, he just did that on national television for real." Like, we all heard it. You think Saba went back and told him, "Hey, well, Tommy doesn't. I was the first team he actually had." And Saba don't even got no arms or legs. He just fly around and got little laser beams and shit. You know what I'm saying? It is the key to the White Tiger Zord. Like, that shit was brutal. That shit was brutal. You motherfucker looked him dead in the face and said, "Sorry, I've never been on a team before." And they figured that shit out. Yo, that was rough, man. But yeah, I love those. I try watching the new Power Rangers because you can go on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and watch. They like live stream Power Rangers all day, right? It's just like a 24-hour live stream. And I just can't get with the new. My last generation was Turbo, I think. Turbo. I can't remember which one, because I think In Space was about where I was just completely kind of tuning out of it by then. By the time they went, I don't give me now, that soundtrack to In Space was hot though. That Power Rangers in Space, that shit was hot. I was digging that shit. And I remember when I was about 18, I think. I was at SPD or some shit like that. Some kind of way to end up back on Earth and on ERF on Earth. And they had cars again, but they was like police cars and shit. That was hot, but I just couldn't. I was a little too far removed at that point, so I just couldn't keep watching the daily episodes. But I thought it was good though. But man, there was one episode, and I can never find it. I tried Googling it, and I can never find it. Right. I want to say it was Power Rangers in Space, but I'm not completely sure. Something had happened on the season finale where some kind of way the Earth had just, I want to say it was Power Rangers in Space. Some kind of way the Earth had just gotten overrun. Like Rita, whoever was the bad boss that was in charge of that season, they finally said, "Fuck it. We just gonna send 1,000,000 putties at you motherfuckers. We ain't even gonna send a monster. We just gonna send 1,000,000,000 putties for you to fight. Deal with it." Right? And they just sent 1,000,000,000 of these motherfuckers. And something happened where they had to leave one of the Rangers behind. And he was just in the middle, just fighting them all off on his own. And all the other Rangers took off on him. And when they came back, all they had was a helmet left of him. And they putties tore his ass up. But he and because they zoomed out and he was just down there just you know what I'm saying, kung fu and all these motherfuckers, like, you know, that stylized fight. He wasn't just flat out brawling. He was just like, you know, that stylized shit. He was like, hey-oh, hey-oh, and they zoomed out and it was just a million putties. Like, he couldn't win that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was it, man. And I could never find it. I Google it. I try to, because I want to see that scene again. Because that was a gangster scene. But I can't find it. And I tell y'all, another show I can't find, and very few people even remember this show. And even if they remember it, they can't think of the name either. There was this show that came out. It was in the era of Family Matters, right? Man, I remember when Steve Urkel in America, Steve Urkel was his thing. You know, Steve Urkel was just like a fucking heavyweight of Friday night entertainment, right? So in this time period, there was another show that came on, and because I remember the premise. I don't remember any of the actors or actresses, but it was a very interesting show, and I think I brought this up a while back, but I can never think or find a name. The show was about a family of like 6 or 7 or 8 kids, right? And the kids' family, the kids' parents, the mom and dad, they were together, and they died in a car. They died. I can't remember if it was a car accident or what, but they died. And so where you pick up at with the show is the kids would have to like the oldest girl and the oldest boy had to pretend that they was the father and the mother of all the siblings every time a social worker came around. So the social work, so you know, they would do that so they wouldn't have to go to, like, you know, foster care and get separated. And it was a real good show, man. But it only lasted like 4 or 5 episodes, and then they played the same 4 or 5 episodes all the time, and then they just shut it down. But that was a real interesting theory, man. Like, I mean, for like, you know, Friday night, especially back in the 90s, that was a real good thing, man. Where they ripped off his head, that's gangster. No, in that Power Rangers episode, what happened was they came back, like, some kind of way they had to, something happened. I can't remember the details, but like they had to get off the planet. And coincidentally, that time, whoever the fuck was like you know, like the main boss, whoever was the main boss, did what all the other motherfuckers should have did before and said, look, motherfucker, we just gonna send a million putties. We ain't gonna put no time into a main bad guy. We just gonna make a billion putties and save them up, train them, you know what I'm saying, and just throw them at you. What you gonna do about it, right? And the Rangers had to leave. In some kind of way, they had to leave one of the Rangers behind, and he just fought them all. And like I said, they zoomed out, and he was just in the middle, dude. And it was one of them things, like when you seen it as a kid, you was like, no, he ain't making out of that alive. They ain't even led up to an idea he can make it out. And then after it was all over, they found that, like, it was like just a broken helmet after that. That's all they found of him. But I can't remember. I want to say it was either the beginning of In Space or the end of In Space, but I can't remember. I can't find it anywhere. But yeah, I mean, I like Power Rangers, man. That was my shit. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. Juicy Smollett. I don't know. I have no idea. That show, On Our Own. Oh, is that the name of it? Because I could never find it, man. Let me see. On Our Own. Oh, I wanted to read this article real quick, too, before I started on the ones I was going to do today. About this California doctor caught wife dumping Drano in his lemonade. And just how gangster bitches have it on earth just because they women and what they can get away with. I thought that was gangster. But let me Google On Our Own. Because I like that show. Like I said, I could be wrong about some of the, because like I said, this was like in the mid 90s, man. So I'm sure I'm off about some intricacies. Yeah, 1994. Yeah, this looks like it. It was in that era when Steve Urkel was the shit. Yo, that is Juicy Smollett. Justice for Juicy. That is it. I'm only seeing 3 episodes. Like, it wasn't a lot of. Okay, so it was. What's this, episode 15? Because when I remember, like, because I liked this show, I wanted to watch it, dude. Like, I was into it. So it says it was 20 episodes. Okay. I only remember a good 5 being played, at least on Friday night. That aired. It says okay. So it says it aired on ABC from September 13th until April 14th. I only remember a handful of episodes because I would try to, like, I was looking out for it and I could never find more than 5. But I thought it was a good show. Let me make sure it was everything I thought it was, because yeah, they don't want to be split up by authorities. This leads to the eldest brother who is trying to raise the family alone to dress and drag and pose as the older guardian on. Yo, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. This is definitely it. How did you guys remember that shit, man? There is no way I would have ever, because I tried Googling it. I couldn't find anything about it. I thought it was just my imagination half the time. But yeah, here it is. This is it. So in December 94, the series was put on hiatus and retooled. Okay, so it returned. Okay, so by the time it returned in March, I had probably moved on and completely forgot about it by that point. You know, when you fucking, like when you fucking 10 years old. No, at 94, I wasn't even 10. I was 8. So you know what I'm saying? When you 8 years old, a month is a fucking, decade to you. So yeah, so they put it on pause in 94 and they brought it back in March of 95. So yeah, I was probably completely separated at that point. Didn't even remember what it was. But yeah, I liked it. I like the idea. I really like that show, man. Yeah, and it says after 6 more episodes, the show was canceled by ABC. I thought it was a creative idea that had some staying power, at least for an 8-year-old, from my 8-year-old perspective. What's up, Billy? That's the entire smooth. Yeah, that's the entire. Yeah, that's what I seen in the Yo, so I'll read this because I seen this earlier. Hang on, where is it? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna pull it up on here. Because I want to just do this personally first. I'm looking at it in my browser. Hang on. I may not be able to pull it up because I might need to turn my VPN on. Dr. What's this? Emily. I thought this shows you like the benefit. This is the benefit that women get in the U.S. And it starts showing even, this ain't the picture I haven't seen of her. So I got her right here. I'm gonna start that first because I just thought that was unbelievable. I think I don't want to say unbelievable. What I should say is, it's a great example of benefits that women get in the U.S. for just being women, like what she can get away with just because she's a woman. Or there was another woman I was reading about how she hired somebody to kill her husband, and she'll but then y'all want to being fake, and she got like literally half the sentence that a man would have got for. It's like it's just unbelievable. There's a real crime channel that covered just okay. I don't even know how you pronounce his name for real. I'm just copying Dave Chappelle. Juicy. He was calling him Juicy. I'm just copying him. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but On Our Own is way more likely to be the show you're talking. Yeah, it was it. See-through, that was it. I like the intro, LOL. That's how I remember it. I don't even remember the intro. Mika says, AD, I read somewhere that Czechs drink the most beer per... Yeah, they do. That's true. They drink the most beer per capita than any country in the world. As a non-drinking person, will they look down on you if you refuse to drink? No, it's not that. No, it's not that. No, they're not going to look down on you if you refuse a drink at all. No, I mean, it's definitely a common thing that well, because I remember when you go out to a pub, dude, like you can get beers for $2. If you spend any more than $3 on a beer, then you're either at a tourist trap or you're trying to get something exquisite. One or two. And if the stream starts skipping, let me know, because I think I left the Wi-Fi on accident. I gotta make sure to turn the Wi-Fi off to make sure. Yeah, because I'm on the Wi-Fi now. So if it starts to skip, I'll take it off Wi-Fi, and it might be like a 20-second pause in the live stream before I come back on the wired connection. But this internet seems to be working much better though. Even the speed test is just much better than the one I had before. But no, yeah. So yeah, Czech Republic. Yeah, those stories, and then it's that thing. I don't know how other European countries are necessarily with this. But I know. Okay, so I got really all I really have to compare, if I want to be like 100% honest, like about genuinely like having that experience of living somewhere type of shit and just walking around and getting lost. Kiev is pretty much the only place that I can really say. I mean, because I go to Germany, a decent amount of times. I've been to Poland a decent amount of times. But Ukraine is the only one that I would feel comfortable, comparing to, right? So in once you get out in the city in Prague, once you get around Prague is built like there's going to be at least one bar on every block, right? Just on that side of the block, like depending on what, there's like a pub on every side, and then on top of that, since you got to pay for public restrooms and it's always a pain in the ass finding public restrooms. I told my dad this. If you go out and drinking, well, what's going to happen is you're going to bar hop the whole way home, because, some guys will just pee outside, but I'm not the type that are really, I don't feel comfortable peeing outside because of America. America, they're so strict on like sex laws. Like if you pee outside, you fuck around and get a, what's that called? Like exposure or whatever the fuck like that. So I'm always a little off about peeing outside. It's not that I can't do this, I'm always just subconscious about that predatory North American law system shit, right? So, but what'll happen is, especially for people like me, is you'll just start kind of bar hopping all the whole way home, because you'll have to pee. You go to another bar, go pee, get a beer while you're there, talk to some more people. You still got to get home. You go stop, 2 or 3 blocks down or whatever the fuck, stop at another bar, pee, especially if you don't know your way around it. You just stopped at 4 or 5 other places to drink more beer just to make it back home to your flat. Now, the difference is in America, when you go out to get a beer, especially depending on the area you live in, you're going to spend at least $8 per beer. Okay, if you're living in a nicer neighborhood, you're going to spend at least $8 for a beer, right? It depends on the area and the way of that culture. But out here, they don't separate like that, right? You can find places that's going to do that. Usually, they're just going to be tourist traps. For example, one tourist trap is, as I talked to the guy about it, he was working at this Irish. I went to an Irish bar down there by the U.S. Embassy, which was a big mistake, right? So the Irish bar, this Irish bar, because this is after I had to leave the U.S. Embassy. I had to go to the U.S. Embassy. After I left, I went and got a beer, right? And I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, it's going to be a Czech, Czech prices. He gives me the bill, and it's like American/Germany prices for this shit, right? I said like, yo, like, I'm talking to the Czech dude. It's like, yo, you can go down the street to Bila and get this shit for $1.50. And he goes, I know, but you got to remember, like, we're next to Americans who come to work at this American embassy, and then right up the street is the Irish embassy. And he said those two cultures are happy to pay $7 for a beer, right? They happy to pay $6 for a beer. By the time they went to school and got their education and lived in a nice neighborhood in America, they used to paying $8, $9, $10 for a beer. So that bar does great business because they selling to those foreigners who don't know what actual prices out here are. So yeah, he knew it. I went ahead and paid it because I already drank the shit. I didn't know what the game was. But for those who can branch out and venture off. Oh, for anybody who's ever come to visit me here, if you were with me, we never paid any more than $3 for a beer. Unless we end up just went to a tourist trap kind of area, like if you let me take you somewhere, we would never pay any more than $2, no more than $2 for a beer. We would never. If you let me take you somewhere. Also second cheapest in all of Europe. What's up, Zuki? Yeah. Why? Yeah. Okay. Because when I was in Ukraine, the beer prices to go to the store was a little cheaper, but the beer in a restaurant, it was pretty much it was right around. You would think it would be a lot cheaper in Czech Republic because the average wage in Ukraine is about 30 to 40% of Czech average wages. So you would think beer would be a lot cheaper, or clothes in general, but no, clothes from my experience when I was in Kiev, clothes and beer was the same, if not a little more expensive. But what I did catch when I was in Kiev was once you knew where to buy food, like those fancy desserts. And when I say fancy desserts, I mean like those like they're small, but they're really, I like them because there's a lot of detail in the work and making them. Out here, you'll spend about maybe $6, $7, $8 for it. It's a small little. It'll be like these small little cakes, but they'll be like very intricate. Like, I mean, I think I like the attention to detail, but it's like these artistic, desserts. You go out to Kiev, you get those same desserts for $1. Right. So when when I was in Kiev, what it seemed to be the only thing that was really a good deal like that, like when you go to like a country of like a lower average national wage. Kiev seemed to be much better with chocolate. Anything that had chocolate or sugar in it seemed to be much cheaper. Everything else was pretty much right, just as the same price as things are here in Czech Republic, which is weird. Because I remember before I went out there, I'm like, yo, I'm getting ready to get some gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm right, but before I went, I was planning where I was gonna buy. I go out there, yo, this shit's more expensive. This shit's American prices out here. I ain't worried about this. I was good in Czech Republic. I'm late, AD. You're doing Wednesday's live stream. Yeah. Because first I got this. I'm all for feminism. I got your email, Rare Breed Theory. By the way, Modern Dating Cure is Rare Breed Theory's channel. So go check it out. But yeah, I got the first article. I'm on, but I want to cover something I seen first though, because I thought it was just. Oh, I've been babbling for 30 minutes. Shit. Okay, let me switch it. Here. All right. Make sure the audio's still working right. But I want to cover something. Make sure the audio's working right. So I'm waiting on the audio to catch on up. I should have been talking the whole time so I can hear it, make sure it's working. All right, make sure the audio's still working right. Okay, yeah. So this woman was caught red fucking handed, dude. Like on a nanny cam. This woman was caught on a nanny cam pouring Drano into her husband's lemonade. Right? On a nanny cam. And they giving her the benefit of the doubt that because she denies she did it. They got this bitch in 4K. Like, go okay, on the website I was on, because I don't want to bring up too many websites because I might get blocked from some because I'm not in the U.S. right now. Well, I'm not, because I'm not in that whole territory shit with the news shit happens. But on the website I was on, they literally had a picture of her hand, like a close up of her hand. Like, this was some shit you put in a comedy movie. It's so, like, it was pathetic. And she said, "Oh, I didn't do that." And motherfuckers like, "Oh, well, maybe she didn't do it." Like, no, this bitch, she's on camera doing it. This is unbelievable. Yeah, this is not her proper picture. This is some fucking doctored up. They fucking they Brock Turnered her for real. She's been Brock Turnered, because the pictures I was seeing before ain't look nothing like this. This bitch done Brock Turnered herself to make you feel sorry for her. You know what I'm saying? Because she know, young beautiful women have it easier in life. Look, go Google her name and go look her up on your own. When I was looking up her story earlier today, none of the pictures look like this. All right. She done fucked around and found out her business got put out in the street. So now she had to Brock Turner herself. She had to go just Gotta look cute for the camera. Because she know the younger and beautiful the woman is, the easier time she gonna have in her life. Because like I said, them other pictures, no, she looked 53. Well, she was a good looking 53-year-old, but she looked 53. So let me go ahead and zoom in on the actual article. Yeah, see, this is some this is not her picture. Like I said, go Google her actual fucking picture, and you'll see what she really looks like. So she was arrested for allegedly attempting to poison her spouse. Know her husband name and video. What? Am I reading that wrong? I'm just curious now. So the woman, a 53-year-old doctor, was arrested for allegedly attempting to poison her spouse. Know her husband name and video. Okay, yeah, you was tripping on that. I'm letting this slide. You was tripping on whoever wrote this article. You was tripping. Sakshi, yeah, you was tripping. You was off on that. Southern Californian, I don't know how to fuck you even say that. Who knows? Was detained on Thursday, August 4th, after police carried out a search warrant at her Irvine home. The woman, bitch, she sees patient in a Mission Vale office. Whatever. Okay. I'm not gonna play that because I feel like, okay. So yeah, this is more she's not a bad 53-year-old looking woman. She's not bad looking for 53, right? But this is I don't know what this is. This is some other shit. This is a picture from about 15, 20 years ago. Right? This dude says, Bill Bingham has been feeling sick for a month, set up a hidden camera in his house, and caught his wife in 8K poisoning him. Even though she was caught in acutely trying to murder her husband, she's out on 30K bond. Yo, that's that woman. And you know what? You will not hear a feminist say whisper a peep about it. This is why feminism gets no respect. This is why women get no respect, like off in the world, like for real. This is why they don't get it, at least in America. Like when shit gets real about it. Okay, she'll always find her chumps to give her respect because they want some pussy out of her because she's a little cute or whatever the fuck. But there's also a large group of men who don't give a fuck about her. They literally these are the pictures, right? She got out on bail, like literally in the act. But they got here's a video record of her porn reaching down, and the camera is like, let's say like the bottle's like right here. Her hand is like literally and it's like literally this close. And she goes, I ain't do that. Okay, maybe she didn't do it. Okay. And let her ass. You gotta love it, man. That's that woman entitlement. Because guess what? You know what's coming next in this? You know what's coming next in this trial? I will tell you exactly. He abused her. Just throw out that word, abuse. As a woman, caught red-handed on camera, how do you get people's attention that you were the victim? He abused. There was some type of abuse, I'm sure. But even then, they got you on camera. The only proof is you pouring Drano in his lemonade like you pouring milk in the cereal. That's the only proof we got. This evil bitch, Dr. Yu, I don't know how to pronounce this shit, 45, put Drano in her husband's hot lemonade and he caught it on camera. She looked 60 in a wig. How did she ever become a dermatologist, Dad? That's okay. I ain't gonna roast her on that. Dermatologist, and she looks good to be 53. I give the doctor that. She looks good. The bitch look good. You know what I'm saying for 53. But no, see Susan Haggerty. Susan Haggerty. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Susan Haggerty, this is your woman benefit right? As long as you woman in nowadays climate, all you got to do is just say just say you didn't do it or you were abused, and whatever happened, it doesn't matter. Whatever you did as a woman will immediately get fucking erased. So it says, so the actual article continues. He was becoming worse, and the husband looked into his routine and potential causes. There was a doubt he had for his wife. He set up a hidden camera that caught her poisoning him. The camera footage scene of Yu, whatever the fuck this is. The covert camera footage was shown to the court and later obtained by the Post. She is seen carrying one of the large red plastic bottles and pouring its contents into a cup. Later on, Shen may be seen drinking it. Shen may be seen drinking it from the same cup. In the video, she could be seen on July 11th and July 18th pouring liquid poison into her husband's warm lemonade drink. He claims in the court. Okay, this is written in broken English. This is hard to read. Okay, and or it's either written in broken English or I'm fucking up reading one or two. He had been exhibiting signs of poisonings for several weeks. Yeah. Yo, let me tell you something right now. Yo, and I was thinking this shit earlier. Look, if I catch somebody, I will beat the shit out of a bitch for poisoning my. If I catch a woman poisoning my shit, I will beat the dog shit out that bitch. Point fucking blank serious. All right, I will beat the shit. I will beat because yo, with me and my stomach, how sensitive I am with my stomach. Let me fuck around and find some bitch to poison my... Yo, and I don't advocate beating bitches' asses at all. None of that. Like, I know people who do. But let me tell you, if I find out anybody is poisoning my shit and it's on camera, I'm not saying a word. I'm going to grab the most biggest, bluntest object and I'm getting ready to have a home run derby on your ass. Like, I'm just not even going to say nothing. You ain't going to know what's happening. I'm just going to walk in the room... and just start beating your motherfucking ass, like just down, like no questions asked, like full Batman, like you can get a Batman treatment. You remember that death battle where Batman fought Spider-Man, and every time Batman punched Spider-Man, that shit was like whoosh, boosh. That's what's gonna happen, point blank. Because I'm not one for sucker punching motherfuckers, because I think that's I think that's shitty. I'm not one for just like for not equally fighting somebody who's ready type of shit. I don't like that. I always hate fights where one dude just like throws one punch when the other guy like clearly wasn't ready type of shit, knocks him out and he won. Like I don't like fights. I hate that shit. But let me find out somebody was poisoning something that they knew I was getting ready to go consume, and I fuck around and live and make it out that shit. Yo. Let me find out a motherfucker like intentionally poison some shit like on camera. Yeah, I will beat the brakes off a bitch for doing some shit like that. Period. That death battle was years ago. Yo, and you know what, Auntie? That is still my favorite one. It's a toss-up between... Because I like the Thanos and Darkseid one, too. Because I like the soundtrack in that one. But overall, that Batman and Spider-Man is still my favorite. It's still my favorite one to watch. Vegeta and Thor was cool. I'm trying to think of other ones. I like Lord Beerus and was it Sailor Moon or some shit like that, where she goes like, "Oh no, that was impossible," and he goes, "I am the impossible," and like fucks her up type of shit. I want to say I watched Batman vs Iron Man. That was cool. Well, the one because I think they did two Batman vs Iron Mans. One of them was done in 3D, and then the other one was done in that kind of comic book style, or not comic books, but that 8-bit style. I like the 8-bit style better. But yeah, let me tell you something, man. If I find out somebody intentionally poisoned some shit that they knew I was gonna go in there and eat, and I fuck around and live, and I fuck around and live, like it didn't take me out. Like if you gonna poison me, like you better make sure I'm gonna be dead by the time it's over. Cause if I fuck around and live and make it out that shit, I I already know I'm gonna lose it. like I'm gonna. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna lose. The only thing that might save me is trying to stay out of prison for baby Kratos. Right? That'd be about the at this point. That'd be the only thing that would save me personally. Now I'll go pay somebody. It'd be nothing to go find somebody and pay them a little bit of money and go beat the brakes off somebody in a back alley somewhere. Like that's nothing to do. But I would have to calm myself down to keep from doing it myself. To just don't say nothing and just sneak up on them and just beat the fucking situations like this. See, this is why you hear about stories where a motherfucker just randomly got punched in the mouth, or you know what I'm saying, when Channel 12 News put something on news, be like, it was just a blind, senseless act. Like, why did they do it? Like, no, like, see, it was history behind that. That's why they did it. You see, like, because if that shit happened to me, if that you bitch come and poison my, look, I will beat the fucking brakes off that bitch in the middle of the street. Her legs will be fucking, like, her legs would be linguini, like Charlie Murphy. His legs was like linguini. like fuck, okay, I will beat, you will be sitting up there like Rick James. I'm done. You be worse than Rick James when I'm done with you. Period. You lucky you married. You are lucky you married to a dude like that who think he got something to lose because he don't want to lose that nice little house and all that shit. So you lucky you married to a motherfucker like that, because you fucked around and married one of these real motherfuckers out here. You wouldn't be walking anymore, or you have to go to therapy to figure out how to walk again. After you pull some shit, first you'd been too scared to even do some shit like that in the first place. You come around a real motherfucker talking about pouring. This bitch is like, for real. Like that bitch is like, she's lucky she fucked around and got with a dude who didn't beat the fucking piss out her ass. She's lucky for that shit. Fucking bitch. Like, I'm telling you, man, like, let me find out somebody poisoned my shit and it was on purpose. Let me find out they did that shit on purpose. That's it. AD, like, personally, for me, I wouldn't take that level of disrespect. Man, what's this stream about? Oh, I'm gonna touch on the main topic. I just touched on this because I seen this earlier today. This fucking bitch got caught she got caught in HD pouring fucking poison into her husband's drink, and then go give it to him to go drink. Oh, but speaking about poison, I'll tell y'all something else real quick. Because the girl in the movie did it. Orphan 2, First Kill. I'm weirdly a fan of the Orphan movie, with the little girl in it, with the girl who's like, she's like 35, but she be posing as a 10-year-old girl. I'm weirdly addicted to that shit, right? So when I heard I didn't even know they was making a part 2. I just seen it, it was out, so I watched it on the internet, and I mean, like I'm weirdly a fan. I think why I'm such a fan of that movie is because I'm a fan of anybody who just kind of goes out in the world alone for whatever reason, and is like just a totally independent hustler type of shit. Like, I'm just in any kind of way. Like, I'm just a fan of that. So I'm weirdly addicted to the Orphan movies. Like, the first one, I really liked the first one, and the second one had a plot twist that was, I ain't see that shit coming. Because at first I seen Julia Stiles, I'm like, oh god. Like, Julia Stiles had that quick. She was kind of like the it girl when that Save the Last Dance, whatever that shit, Save the Dance, whatever that movie was, in the early 2000s, and then she just died off. So when she came back for this, I was like, oh, they got her. But she did a good job though, and it was a plot twist in Orphan 2 that completely caught me off guard. I ain't see that shit coming at all, and I was hooked after that. I was hooked with that plot twist in Orphan 2, the First Kill. That plot twist hit, and I was like, what? I was like, oh. And I had to pause it and put my thinking cap on for a minute. I was like, wait a minute. So she knew the whole time? It was one of them. Anybody else seen Orphan 2? That shit caught me off guard. And Julia Stiles did excellent. The dude, he did an excellent job. The grown man. The old brother, all the actors and actresses did a great job, I thought. Like I said, because at first it was kind of going towards like a typical cheesy, shitty part 2 version. But when that plot twist hits, that plot twist hit, that it made it like, oh yeah, I was like invested at that shit. But yeah, that was yeah. I'm definitely a fan. Or like I said, at first the Orphan movie, the Orphan 2, it was taking a turn in that kind of like, they didn't hit that part 2, we out of ideas shit. But then that twist came out, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, y'all got me again. I gotta finish this shit. But yeah, let me keep up with the comments on the YouTube, because like I said, Streamlabs doesn't put all the comments in it. So here, I'm reading now. Shouldn't we get you some help? AD just gave us some. We just gave us some help. I bet she won't do that again. Hey, Moses, she would have been 6 feet under if she did that. If she did that. My opinion, yeah, man. Yeah. When that shit plays out, you bitch. She's lucky she got with a dude who was just like, okay, I call the police. I'm a little angry, but I'm gonna call the police. You know what I'm saying? She lucky she ain't come home and he was acting like everything was cool, and he just started beating her fucking ass, like, and don't give a fuck who sees it. Like he's like, she's, because I know men who will beat I know guys who will beat their baby mama in front of their kids, like, hard, like, as I've watched that shit happen. Like, I know dudes in Ohio who would do that, right? Let me tell you, I always tell everybody this story, and this guy personal story. Now this wasn't for the kids, but I remember a close person to me. We were sitting at the dinner table, right? I probably told this story before. We were sitting at a dinner table, and it was me, him, his mom, and his pregnant girlfriend, right? And the pregnant girlfriend must have done something earlier, because they was like a little awkward and cold. And we was all sitting there just chilling, you know what I'm saying? And we was chilling, hanging out and shit, right? And out of nowhere, I'm not making this shit, out of nowhere, like, he just gets up, right? He gets up and say like this is, like, she's sitting in this chair. He just gets up, right? And just grabs her by the fucking head and just drags her out. like through the bitch, like she was like groceries, like through her motherfucking ass, and just start punching her. Right? Like, and the shit came out of nowhere. And you know what? His mama was just chilling, like, well, another Tuesday, and the bitch, she should have known she did it. You know what I'm saying? It was one of them things. And she was pregnant. Hey, yo. Like I said, I know men who would. I know guys who would beat the shit out their baby mama in front of their children. I know guys who would do that for real. Like 1,000%. I know guys that, like, like hood motherfuckers will do that shit. Don't even care, right? She's lucky she ain't come across like one of them real. Well, okay, see, here's the thing. She knew he wasn't gonna do it. That's why she did it. That's why she would do something that wild, because she knew he wouldn't do anything. If she had any doubt or question he might do some shit, she would have been too afraid to even do that. She would have been dreaming about it, probably watch Unsolved Mysteries, some shit like that, and play with her clit to it, some shit like that. But she wouldn't actually fucking have done it. She did it because she knows he wouldn't beat the shit out of her. If she had any doubt that he would have done it, she wouldn't have done it. Period. But yeah, man, yeah. I can resonate with pimp sometimes. A woman needs to get that backhand from. But here's the thing, Rhonda. Here's the thing. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Yeah, like some bitches just need it. But all women, you have to. I'm not. Here's the thing. I don't advocate beating up bitches, right? I don't advocate that shit. But Chris Rock said. But I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so my method. Here's the thing. My method is to, as long as I can get her to truly not know if I'm going to do it or not, that's enough to usually, that's enough to keep, a lot of bitches in check right there. The fact that The fact that she knows that I have that I can go out there in the middle of a packed mall and just start pop locking and doing the moonwalk. See, here's the thing. You see, and it's these little things that send signals, right? The fact that I can go out, right, and I have no issue with doing this, standing up in the middle of a packed restaurant and just start going, and then doing the moonwalk, you know what I'm saying? And then doing this shit. See, the fact that I can get up and do that and not give a fuck about feeling embarrassed. See, on one side is sending the signals like, oh wow, you know, he's very unpredictable and he just doesn't care, so he can do anything. But on the bad side, when shit gets real, it's, oh shit, he's unpredictable. He could do anything, you know, because he just doesn't care. This motherfucker will go up and he'll just, you know, embarrass himself in front of copious amounts of people. You see what I'm saying? So that's what seemed to have worked with my game, right? That's what worked with my game. And every guy's a little different. Some guys just can't get over that, which I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming you if you can't get over it. But for me, that's what seemed. I mean, I'm on YouTube just being ridiculous and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what worked for me, is that everything you do is gonna send a message in some kind of way, especially the bitches. But I mean, men too, amongst other men, but especially bitches. Everything you do and how you did it and why you did it and, you know, for what reason you did it and all, and the extreme you took and all that, everything sends a message, right? Everything you do. So again, what works for me is being able to completely cut off because I remember one time me and my girl, we was out somewhere, I can't remember where we was at, and we still laugh about this, right? Because I was singing, but I was, of course, like fucking this shit up, right? And before I was getting ready singing this time, I went, so every time she sings, right, because she can sing, my girl, she can sing, and I always say no, you, because you flat. Every time she'll sing anything, I'd be like, no, you flat. I can hear it in your voice, you flat. Hold on, let me correct you. And I go, me, now. And then I'll do some old fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, on one side of it, like, you keeping, you know what I'm saying? On one side of it, you keeping the mood up. You keeping everybody laughing and all that shit like that. But on the back end, the fact that you'll do some old wild shit so everybody can see and hear you talking about some me, and keep a straight face and do it like on one side it keeps everybody happy and, you know, and all that shit, but on the back end, like, you know, when they see you now, it's like, oh shit, this motherfucker's in the room, instead of when they see you, it's like, oh, it's just another motherfucker in the room. You know what I'm saying? All that plays a part into it, you know. All that shit is gonna play a part in, you know, all of it plays a part into how bitches see you, what they think they can get away with on you, because the bitches are just like children. They know because I guarantee, okay, that fucking bitch Wee Woo, whatever that fuck that bitch name is, I bet you she know. Hold on. That Wee Woo bitch, I bet you that Wee Woo bitch knows some men who she wouldn't dare do that to because she's scared of getting that ass whooping. I would guarantee you that. I guarantee you Wee Woo. I guarantee if you sit Wee Woo down and say, okay, would you do this on, you know, this man, that man? She's like, no, because he might beat my ass. Fuck the law, you know. I don't want that ass whooping from him. You know, that fatherly ass whooping. Now, at that point, but in the reality, it's not going to be a fatherly ass whooping. It's going to be, I'm going to kill you ass whooping at that point. Because you didn't cross to me. Let me grab this other beer, man. It's going to be an, that's going to be a, I'm going to kill you ass whooping. Let me see what time it is. 8, because I got to get out here by 9:30 max. Okay, so we gon'. Oh wait, I got a donation for $1. AD, when you buy PS5. Oh man, well I ain't even put honestly I ain't even put thought in it, man. To be honest with you, Skank. Thanks for the donation. I don't know why it didn't pop up. Let's see if I can make it. It's just not even, yeah, this is Streamlabs. So I can see it in the mini feed part, but it's just not popping up. It's not blocked or anything. It's just not working. Good job, Streamlabs. OBS. It's just not working at all. Trying to make it, it's just not showing up. Maybe if I try the old one. Okay, that's from yesterday. So the one from yesterday worked. So if I try this one, there it is. Okay, 80 when you buy a PS5. So now it's working. Honestly, I just didn't put any thought to it. Okay, because the last thing we did was we gave the struggling couple a bunch of baby clothes. That's the last thing we did. Because we gave them some clothes, right? Then I'm gonna tell you what happened with them. We gave them like a bunch of clothes because they came over with this just like They came over with this just broke down stroller, dude. Like broke down stroller, old shit. They was fucked up. And my girl, she gave them some clothes, and then because they so fucked up, they ended up needing some covers and shit. So they text us and they said, well, we'll give you like $20 for this. And my girl, she didn't want to take the money. And I told her, no, take it. You got to take it in this scenario. I'm going to tell you why. Because that charity case shit, for many reasons, at that point, like if she's trying to offer you something, you got to take it, okay, because at this point, it's not about the money, but it is about the money. Because she wants to, at that point, that family wanted to feel like that they contributed in some way. And you rejecting their help, it can very well hurt them in this situation, right? Because now it's like, oh, like like you're poor and all this shit like that, so keep it. Like, no, like let them go ahead and feel like they contributed something. Because she didn't want to take the money, and I told her to take the money at that point. Because they was in this just broke down stroller, old, like the baby ain't have shit. Like they was fucked up, and they came, walked all the way back here. This is a nice neighborhood, a nicer area in Czech Republic too. And they came up here, like, you could tell they was just like, intimidated when we seen them. And yeah, man. So we just gave them like a bunch of baby clothes and covers and all types of shit, man. They was fucked up. Because especially now with how the job market is over here, man. I think he was working in some mask factory or something, but all those are going away. All those are going away. Cause we don't nobody need masks anymore. But yeah, so let's go on this article. I'm all for feminism, but it's kind of making it hard to date. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Single as fuck. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you start adopting feminism is code word. Code word. I'm bitter and angry because I can't keep no man. So she says, who is this? Jennifer Lee. Wait, let me read this. Rana, how has the recession hit the Czech Republic? Hit the Czech? Well, now, I guess, because I'm real bad with like this international shit in some areas. So I might be a little wrong when I speak now, and I'll completely own it. Gas here. The gas, I don't have, I'm lucky enough in this flat, I don't have any gas to pay. But the gas bill like doubled and tripled. And then on top of that, I'm gonna read that. Yo, thanks for the donation, Skank Hunt. Thanks for the $1 donation. I appreciate it. And then on top of that, electricity was going. Everything's just going up, right? So, and motherfuckers was panicking, was fucking up, like, and on my monthly expenses, everything actually ended up balancing out because. Okay, so for example, so for those of you in the U.S. in America, how we pay the electric bill is every month. A month somebody comes out and reads it, and then they send us a bill for however much money we pay it that month, right? And then if you don't pay it that month, then you're just behind until you pay it. Well, over here, how they pay the electric bill is you don't have to pay it at all for a year, and you could just save it up until like the end of the year. So how most people pay it is they just send however much they want every month, And then at the end of that, that yearly cycle, they just send you something in the mail saying either they owe you money or you owe them money type, which is really, in the U.S. we don't have any, as in Ohio at least, we don't do that, right? So when electricity started going up because of all this shit, I was getting letters in the mail saying, okay, so this is your projected average monthly, payment. And even with it going up, the when I paid lesser for this internet, that balanced out the monthly expenses. So there's no, I'm not gonna notice any difference in it. But a lot of people did. So what I just seen, what happened is, since a lot of people are paying for gas, electricity went up and water went up. So the Czech government they actually approved some type of credit that's going to be applied to everybody's utilities bill to help with that, instant inflation on it or rise in it. Let me read this last comment. Skanko said, AD, once you said that all women deep inside love to get beat by a man. I don't think okay. Deep down, they would get off to that dominance, but not like walking down the street and just get her ass whooped by a random dude. I'm not like that. Also, on girl who had a stalker, like she said, throw a rock into her window, and the girl had a boyfriend who she broke up after that. Do you think that girl fall in love with the stalker? Let me reread this. Also, a girl who had a stalker, like you said, throw a rock into her window. No. The woman is not okay in this scenario. Skank, let me put this back up here. In this scenario, Skank Hunt 42. The reason why the woman wouldn't fall in love with the stalker is not why admirable people would think so, right? Like admirable people. Oh, see, this is the big confusion. Like, social media or on YouTube conversations. See, these deeper areas, which is what I'm getting ready to touch. These are areas that really need to be taking a deeper look into, right? So the real reason, in my opinion, why women will not fall in love with the stalker in this situation, okay? Here's the thing. With shit like this, women know what men want to hear and what men will react to, right? So she already knows that women already know deep down, men, it's automatically wired into men to want to protect the women in some way. So men are seeing it from the perspective of the woman doesn't want to get with the stalker because the stalker might be crazy and all this shit like that, right? That's not it. That's not it. From the woman's perspective, okay? From the woman's perspective, the woman will never fall in love with the stalker because the stalker has now put the woman as number one in their life. That's why. Okay. Again, women never want to feel like they are truly, like, completely number one to the man they have to fuck. Right? From the woman's perspective, the only people who should be looking up to her like that is her children, and if she teaches, her students or something like that. But the man she has to eventually fuck one day, she does not want to be the top priority so high and so omnipotent to where the man has to go to these to these desperate extremes just to get her attention. That's what freaks her out because she does not want to be in that position. And I think these deeper methods of analyzing the situation really need to be gone over because there's a huge disconnect in what's actually happening in it. Because again, now women know what men want to hear, what gets men triggered, what they're going to be thinking, and all this. So women know when it hits top. Okay, let's say like this woman on the screen right now, for example. Let's say she had a situation of a stalker who broke her, blah blah blah. She knows how to phrase it to get a certain response out of you and out of other, people. But especially with men, she knows what's going to trigger men to automatically blindly fight for her and all this shit like that. Now, if the guy's a stalker, I'm not saying, it's right to be a stalker or anything like that. But she knows how to phrase it properly to get your mind going in a certain direction. Now, again, the real issue in this situation of a guy who stalks a woman and throw a rock in her house and all shit like that. Okay. Yeah, the woman's going to be a little afraid of the guy. Women are mostly afraid of men in general because men are the ones who we're just stronger. And and let's be real, the only thing that's keeping women from being beat up and raped 24/7, the only thing that's ultimately keeping women safe is the fact that we just agree to keep women safe, right? If men just decided to start raping bitches, there'd be nothing women could do, right? They just couldn't fight us off, right? Or on the flip side, if women just decided to do something to us, we can get up and defend ourselves. You see how that works? right. So ultimately, women are always going to have this deeper fear of men because they're living in our world and they're just kind of tagging alongside of it type of shit, right? So with the stalker throwing a rock through the window, okay, yeah, that's fucked up. There is a sense of violence, but deeper to it. The reason why it's really a problem for her is because, and knowing that the stalker wants to fuck her and all this, she's not stupid. She knows a stalker. That's why he's stalking her, because he wants to fuck her. That's because that's all she has to offer, right? But the real, okay, I won't say it. I'd say another big reason why it's so freaky for her is that woman does not want to be numbered that high to somebody she actually has to fuck. Now she could be that high as a Ariana Grande or whatever the fuck like that, because Ariana Grande doesn't have to actually go fuck her, these guys who are chasing her, stalking her, making web pages about her. She doesn't have to go fuck them. So as long as they stay over there, she enjoys the attention. But when it hits that close to home, and now she's brought to that, area of, he's seen me, he blah, blah, and he's expecting me to fuck him. The problem is I can't fuck him and just, whatever, and deal with it or whatever, because as a woman, I don't want to be that, seeing that greatly in the man's eyes who I have to fuck. You see what I'm saying? I hope I explained that. I hope I explained that better. I will. Because again, throughout history, it's the same story, the same love song every time from women. Women always, who do women always love? To death. Who do women always love? They can't get off their mind. What the woman last night who her boyfriend told her to leave her alone, stop texting her. I'm not leaving him alone. Who do women always love? It's the guy. Okay, and go to the other extreme. Remember the black girl who said she was crazy about a guy who was sleeping on his sister's floor. Who is the guy the women are always in love with? It's the guy who can care less about them. That's who she's always in. It's because she's got, the woman has to be, and she has to be at best. I say, okay, in all reality, I say the woman has to be at absolute best third. I wouldn't even say second. I say second is really too high. For the woman to genuinely be interested and act like she has some sense around that man, I say at absolute best she has to be third. I say in reality more like fourth or fifth, but I say best case scenario she has to be third. Though that's when she acts like she has some sense. But then you get, the other dingbat bitches like the one I covered later on last night's live stream about you have to. She's like, well, you have to tear down a woman's confidence and all this before being blah blah blah. Like, that's the only way a woman's gonna act right is when her confidence is shaky. That's the only time look at any woman on earth. The only time she's going to act right for any man is when her confidence is taking a hit for any reason. The fact that man may take an interest in something bigger and better than her. It doesn't matter what it really is. It can be the fucking wall. I just like looking at this wall. You know what? I like looking at this lamp. I like looking at this lamp so much that I forgot to call Deborah back for 2 hours. And that's going to make Deborah act right. Well, where were you? You supposed to call me 2 hours ago. I don't know where you was. I said, well, hey, I just got caught up with something in my life. I just like looking at this lamp for 2 hours. I love it. And that's going to keep her acting right. Because see, Deborah had 15 other men trying to give her everything she wanted. She had 15, 20 men. And Tinder, Bumble, hey, sweetheart, can I take you out? Can I buy you something? Can I send you money? Can I talk to you? And she didn't give a fuck. Who did she go to? To the guy who put her down, who could move on with his life and didn't. And I mean, maybe cared a little bit, but didn't, it was clear she wasn't in the top, in the top 3 of his life. That's who she's going to fucking be. That's who she's going crazy over. The guy who she figures she can lose. So anyway, let's continue with this article. I consider myself a feminist, but I can't lie. I'm starting to notice its effects on my dating life. This doesn't change my belief in equality. I just hope that men and women can eventually learn to date in harmony because it's pretty messy right now. Look. Let me start out with this sentence right here, with this area right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Here we are. So just like with what I was talking about Ricky Williams last night, the whole reason why that woman likes why a woman is going to take a man serious, why a woman is genuinely going to take a man serious and be super there for him is because he's better than her. Look, what's her name? Jennifer, you don't want an equal boyfriend, and you want a man who you really want is a man who's going to be better than you. That's who. Now you'll settle for a man who's equal, but may have a title. That way you can tell your girlfriends, oh yeah, my boyfriend does this. He's the executive producer or whatever. Yeah, but you want a man who's better than you. So let's keep it going. Number 1. I'm hyper aware of every sexist thing a guy does now. It doesn't take much for me to overanalyze a guy's intention nowadays. Look, okay, Jennifer, look. Just grow the fuck up. Men are after you because they want to fuck you. Grow up. You're not fucking 8 years old anymore. It doesn't take much for me to overanalyze a guy's intention nowadays. I used to see a guy open the door for me as a nice and polite, but lately gestures like this have been making me angry. Yeah. Okay. I know the guys offering these acts of chivalry have no intention to make me feel small or lesser than, but now that my eyes have been open to feminist theory, it's all I'm able to think about. See, okay, look, Jennifer. Feminists are women who are old and bitter and usually physically weird looking and ugly because they can't keep a man. That's the whole reason why any and every woman becomes a feminist. It was because of whatever reason she fucked up and she couldn't keep a man. So now she's trying to find a way to demonize anything that a man will want. That way the feminists can feel better about themselves for not being able to keep a man. That way, because oh my God, this is just this is ridiculous. Read this comment. Read this. Yo, thanks for the donation. Where is it at? But AD, why women stay violent? Why do women stay with violent boyfriends who treat them and call them whores? It's also attention though. If men's. Okay. So real quick, let me answer this by Skanky. Thanks for the donation, man. Let me play this again. Y'all can read that. You probably can't. It's hard to see that. I need to download something to make it like, outline or like a background on it. So Skank asks like, okay, why do women stay with guys who beat them and all that shit? Okay. In my opinion, the reason why is because it's not necessarily because the guy beat him, but it's how he did it. It's how he abused her. He abused her in the sense of he doesn't really care. Like he can do it and then let her go, right? Like he can verbally abuse her or physically abuse her and then do that, but do it with the character of I can move on. Like I don't need you. And And again, it's all about that guy's specific game. It's how his game is, right? And it doesn't work the same for every guy, but it's how he could communicate. Maybe it's how he moves, how he what was said before it, and then how he dealt with it before he beat her ass. Whatever. It's that guy's game, right? It's how he has to do it in the sense of he just doesn't care about her. Once you start to care too much about her well-being, you start to care about her mental health and all that shit like that. Once you dive too deep into that without her doing some severely drastic shit before, like you just did to be a good person and then you dove into that world, you're a pussy. But if you just didn't care at all, right? If you was one of them type of dudes and you had some old issues on your own and you beating her ass because you just wanted to do it and just bounce on her ass after it, that's what's going to make her fall in love with you. Now, I'm not saying go do it, but that is definitely a recipe to make that happen. To get the fuck up and just walk out and just leave. Where we at? Guys are started to think, am I reading that wrong? Guys are started to think we don't need them anymore. Bitch, what? Guys are started. Yo, my girl can write better English than this. English, her third language. That bitch be Czech and Italian first. English is her third language. She can write better than this. Guys are started. Yo, a spell check couldn't fix that. Guys are started to think we don't need them anymore. Yo, my girl, the English is my girl's third language, and she writes better English than this shit. That's why you alone, bitch. You can't even spell. You can't even write coherently in your native language. That's why you alone. Right, Reggie, this bitch dumb as hell. Even though the feminist movement is pretty much the best thing to happen to this world since sliced bread, it's taking its toll on the dating scene. I think my plant just moved. Okay, I heard something. All right. The thing is, I'm starting to get a bit of a standoffish vibe from guys. Like they're afraid to make a move. And I think it's because they think that we don't need them anymore. I'm not going to go and cry a river for them because that's something they're going to have to figure out within their own psyches. It's just something I've noticed, and it's a bit of a shame. Well, you don't need no man. Go on somewhere. What? Bye. Leave, bitch. Go. Disappear. Go disappear with all your feminist friends or go find a soy boy somewhere and go kick it. Why are you worried about? See, because like I said, it can't. The communication has been made that men can be happier without her. Now it's becoming a problem. You see, now it's becoming a problem. This is like, I'm telling. Step 4. One little anti-feminist comment can completely turn me off. Yeah, because you're still in the area of kind of being at least a little attractive. And knowing you could get a dude if you just shut the fuck up. But you think you actually intelligent. So like you trying to make logic. Which like I said last night. Whenever you dive in. If you ever directly address a woman on any topic. You will quickly find that they just cannot sustain a logical argument. And stay on topic very long. With that fight. When I'm out with a guy and he says one thing that's even remotely offensive towards women, I find it really hard to recover. I instantly write guys off if they aren't woke to the current social mindset towards gender politics and can't let it go. Let's just say I've gone on a lot of first dates that never go anywhere. Yep. And you'll keep going on those dates that don't go and you won't be able to keep a man. Sorry. That's why you on Bold with all the other reject women who can't keep a man. Bold is the website for reject bitches who can kind of read and write and you know what I'm saying, but just got too old and now they got to blame everybody but themselves for not being able to sell the most easiest thing they can sell on earth, which is pussy. Right? That is literally the definition of bold. Like that's in their job postings. Like, can you not keep a man? Can you kind of read and write? Can you make at least 2 coherent sentences in a row? Well, come apply at bold as a writer. We have open positions for lonely bitches that can't keep no men. Because it's not your fault. And they probably backlogged on resumes at this point. Girl, I need to go get on with it bold. They know what they talking about over there. It's like I said, last week. I think I said it last week, man. Like I said, see, when men continuously fail and fuck up, a lot of men will finally grow up and say, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Tell me what to do. Anybody, I will travel to the deepest, darkest corners of the world to enlighten myself, to get out of this, being lost, right? Men will do it. But women do the complete opposite. When women get fucked up, they go around other women that's just as fucked up or more fucked up as they are and trying to learn from them. And they just end up more fucked up. This is why I say when you see bitches talking on the street, there should be a law to where you can at least call the police and have the police go over there and interrogate. Okay, what y'all bitches talking about? You talking about men? Okay, are either one of y'all married? Yes and no. Okay, how long you been married? Y'all live together? You sleep in the same bed? The police officer should be able to interrogate bitches on the spot, right? And if that shit ain't sounding right, lock them bitches up. The whole reason Jennifer is even employed at Bold is because she can't keep no man. That's the whole reason why she's even at Bold from the start. I get a disqualification for a woman writer on Bold is to be able to keep a man and keep him longer, than 3 months. That's a disqualification. So step 5. It's like guys are walking on eggshells around us. Guys are feeling the heat, and we can all tell. They're afraid to compliment us or relate to us in the way they were always taught to, and trust me, this is a good thing. However, women like to still be pursued, at least I do. And it's unfortunate that by finally standing up for our rights and demanding respect, we're totally scaring men away. It's so messed up and a total shame. No, Jennifer, okay, look. Jennifer, like seriously, Jennifer. This is what I mean on my channel by men are the ones who are loving and caring, or men are the ones who are genuinely the loving, caring ones who want to make sure everybody's comfortable and happy. Where women are with children on this, right? At this point, at least America has proven that all the woman has to do is say something, and the world will automatically just believe the woman, and the man's a crazy psychopath rapist, right? Immediately. All she has to do is say it, right? Now, if women were to come out and have some type of... if women were to come out and say, okay, approach me like this, approach me like that, and men were successfully getting pussy off that, then all this wouldn't be a problem. But here's the thing. Women are not coming out... women are not coming out and just saying what they want, right? But then if they do say what they want, well, and then if a guy does it, she still doesn't like the guy. Why doesn't she like the guy? It's because the guy's still following her instructions. Keyword, following. And women do not want a man who follows. Well, case in point, why you're still alone? You can't keep a man. You mean to tell me there's not one soy boy, not one beehive shirt dude, none of that, that's going to come up and tell you what you want to hear and all that to get into your pussy real quick? The men that you want, okay, at this point, with the girl like this, who can kind of read and write, she's going to want, some guy who can just do better than her. which is a clear, clear indication because, not clear, what's a clear fact because she can't keep a man, right? And meanwhile, she has the easiest thing to sell. I mean, look at her. Even if this is a perfect picture and she's a little fucked up, she's still a decent looking woman. She's not a bad looking woman. So she has the easiest thing to sell and is on, but she's so lonely and fucked up that she has to go to Bowl to vent her fucking, her loneliness and still try to find a way to blame men. Right? And then on top of that, she's dove into feminism. Which feminism is never good for a woman. Bitches who try to actively practice feminism is never good. Now, I do know some couples who the woman thinks she's a feminist, but when you watch how they actually interact and work, no, ain't no feminism in that shit. But I know a few couples like that. The woman, like, she'll tell you she's a feminist, but when you watch how she is with men, she shuts the fuck up. She shuts up when it's time to shut up real quick, and she follows the men's lead and all that shit. Like, they do it as a hobby. But see, bitches like Jennifer who fucked around and fell for that shit for real. See, them old bitter bitches feel good because they got to corrupt another woman, an attractive woman who could have stole a man or whatever man that they wanted. Because feminists can't keep no man. That's why they feminists. Actual feminists. See, them actual feminists who fucked around and tricked Jennifer Lee into actually believing this shit, they sitting around getting off to her being mad and lonely and single. They like it. They love it. Because Jennifer Lee, if she had been infected with feminism, she would have been with a man and been happy by now somewhere. But women destroy other women. Women destroy unless the only time women don't destroy other women. The only time women do not destroy other women is if you, as the man with whatever woman you're with, you have to put fear into her whole social circle that you don't care about embarrassing yourself, embarrassing them, and at any drop of it out. Perfect example. I told y'all a story a while back. I told you guys a story a while back where I went out with my girl's coworkers, right? And it was a bunch of women. And so I pulled, like we were sitting at a table, and then I remember this one, because I was gonna have her on the channel. I was gonna bring her on the channel for an interview, but it just didn't, because we fell out and we ain't talked for a while, right? This girl, she came up with a Tag Heuer watch and this what's that a Celine purse and all this expensive shit, right? She comes up and sits down alone, right? And I'm sitting with my girl over here, and then her coworker sitting, next to me. And her coworker's married with 2 kids, she's and we've talked, she's cool. But none of the other bitches can keep men. Well, one other woman could keep a man, and she had to go leave to go meet her boyfriend somewhere. But it was other bitches there, they could keep no man. So the girl came in with the expensive shit. I honed in on her. I was like, yo, how come you can't keep no man? And I was like dogging her out, it'd be real. I was a little mean that whole night to her, like I was mean, and but you know what? The next day she ended up bringing me some jam. She made some homemade jam, and then you know what? I bumped into her a few days ago, and my girl was even like, I didn't expect her to be that nice to you after what happened. And I had to explain to my girl, like, look, because I had to embarrass her in front of motherfuckers. I had to let her know I didn't give a fuck. That's why she's like that now, because she doesn't know when I'm going to do it. And it's like, okay, because I'm trying to make this shit concise, but I've been drinking beers. When it comes to women respecting you, the only people women respect are people who they have some fear for, or they know that are just better than them. If the woman regards people as just another dude and all this shit like that, she's not going to respect him. She's just not. Right? So you like there has to be some sense of independent, like an independent person who can put fear into them and not care about their emotions, and they're not chasing them, right? That's the only person they're gonna react to. Right? Now this woman, let's go back to Jennifer. she's not gonna tell you when she came across a dude like me who was single, or dudes better, much better, because I'm not the best guy out here, right? She came across some dude who was better than me and wild, more wild, and she gave him pussy within an hour because she just couldn't control herself around that, right? Like woman has to please that shit, right? It's like she's just wired to do it. She can't, they can't help it. But you have to do it in a way where like you are totally, like you have to be, like Patrice O'Neal said, something along the lines of women like guys who have a sense of belonging, and I'll go deeper, a sense of belonging no matter what happens. That well-rounded shit. You know why? Well, you know why 007 is so is relatively sexy in all the movies and that shit's believable? It's not because 007 is always prepared, because he's not. It's because he always keeps his cool and he has a sense of direction no matter how bad shit gets. That's what keeps James Bond a sex symbol, like a believable, that character as a believable sex symbol in the James Bond movies. Go back and watch the James Bond movies. Even when he don't have a plan, he still has a sense of direction and determination no matter how bad shit gets. That's why that's a believable character. All right, it's not because he's got a six-pack. It's not because he's 6 foot tall. It's not because he's, jumping off buildings and shit like that. It's because no matter how bad shit gets, no matter what happens, when he's tied up, he's getting his fucking balls crushed, literally. It's because that character always has a sense of belonging and purpose. No matter how bad it gets, he still has faith and belief in himself, and he's comfortable in his own skin. That's what it is. Now, the 6 foot, 6-pack, I mean, it's not a negative, but the core of it is that. The core of it. Well, yeah, the last 007. I can see why you would say that. And yeah, he died in it. I thought that was a great movie, by the way. I really liked the last one. But the overall character is he keeps going. He doesn't stop. That's what, that's it. And see, Jennifer won't tell you those sides of it. She's not going to tell you how she was in love with some guy who just didn't care about her, and she was strung out on him for 2 or 3 weeks straight, trying to get text messages back from me. Jennifer's not going to tell you those stories. She's not going to bring those up. So at this point, it sounds like Jennifer goes in. Women still like to be pursued. So it sounds like at this point, even the beta simps gave up. In some capacity. It sounds like at this point, even the beta simps must have gave up. Yeah, and we're totally scaring men away. Well, yeah, just don't be a cunt. Step 6. I've been brainwashed to assume the worst in men. Well, that's what happens when you talk to other women who can't keep no man. All it takes is one quick scroll down my news feed, and I have enough feminist rants to last me several winters. Oh yeah, you're gone. You're officially gone with that. You are officially gone and fucked up. I think I've almost trained my brain to assume all men are here to try to put me down and dominate me, when that's far from the truth. Okay, and let's dive deeper. You want a man, you want a proper man to do exactly this. See, your pussy wants exactly that, what I've highlighted right there. Your pussy wants exactly that. But your brain started listening to other reject women, so now you all confused and fucked up. And because listen, okay, no woman can say they want the opposite. No woman on earth says she wants the opposite from this. She wants a man to put her up and have her dominate him. No woman wants that shit. Every woman, when she wants to get fucked, she wants to get fucked by a guy who is going to put her down and dominate her. Right? That's what's going to get her off. That vanilla sex shit, that's for movies. The debate on who should pay has never been more alive. I'm on the side that believes whoever does the asking should also do the paying. So you're a self-proclaimed prostitute at this point. You're a self-proclaimed prostitute. You want you want men to chase you. You want men to initiate. So you want men to pay for you. You're a hooker, bitch. This is like it's prostitution. Again, feminists want all the benefits with none of the consequences. This is why feminism never gets respect. This is why nobody respects feminism except other reject bitches. Okay, the only people who respect feminism is guys who secretly think they're going to get more pussy from women because they just agree with women, which is never going to truly happen. And the other side, the only other group is women who can't keep a man. Those are only people who fight for feminism. Those are only feminists. Women who can't keep a man, they mad because they can't keep a man. So now they need to escape, and so now they need a scapegoat as to why they can't keep a man. So they blame all men because it must be the men's fault. And you'll find your beta, your chump men here or there who think that they're secretly getting extra coochie points because they're just, yeah, I'm a feminist, I don't believe in this, I believe in the patriarchy. Because they secretly think they're going to get extra coochie points because they just agreeing with it. You're a prostitute, bitch. You're like, but it's not just you, it's women. To be a woman is to be prostitute. Every woman wants this. Okay, yeah. Every woman essentially wants the core of what she's trying to say. Where we at? I lost it. Hang on. Okay, every woman wants the core of what this really means. Okay, because no woman wants to approach a man unless she's just too fucked up. Every woman wants the core. What this really means is every woman wants the man to ask her out. That way she can put it on the man to pay for everything because he asked her out. Because bitches can't take accountability for shit. Every woman wants that. And every woman wants this. Right? Point blank and simple. She wants to be put down and be dominated. It's just if you get lucky enough to figure out how this one dingbat bitch wants it type of shit, right? So I get off here. So I probably sound some 9:15. She says, if I ask a guy on a date, I would expect to pay. Absolutely. Okay. So, and Chris Rock had a stand up about, he had a segment about this. Oh shit. Hang on, let me move it. So if she says, if I ask a guy out on a date, I would expect to pay. Absolutely. What she's not telling you is she is not giving pussy out to a man that she had to pay for, because that man is now her child. She continues, if a guy asks me, I would expect that he shells out the money for the evening. So there's potential for sex at this point. Yeah. It's just the way it should be. Mm-hmm. So you can weed out the men who deserve your royal pussy. Yeah. If the guy doesn't end up paying in some kind of way, then he doesn't deserve your pussy. Yeah. However, due to the recent boost in feminism, a guy paying the bill could be seen as anti-feminist, and no guy wants to be considered a misogynist in this day and age. Listen, bitch, I will be a misogynist. Okay, I'll tell you to your face. Right? Depending on the context of the situation, yes, I will be a misogynist. In most categories, men are better than women. Fucking period. All right. Let me read off the definition of misogynist right now. I'm gonna read it off. The definition of misogynist is a person who dislikes, despises, or is strongly prejudiced against women. Okay, now I am a misogynist for the latter, right? is strongly prejudiced against women, right? So the prejudice part, meaning based off all factual information off women and my personal history with women, yes, I have a prejudice against women. I prejudge women. All right. And until the woman can prove herself, I will be prejudiced. Period. Okay. Yeah, so yes, I'm not afraid to admit it. And I'm not afraid of losing hopes of getting your pussy one day. Well, now she's probably gonna be, she's probably gonna make a response video to this shit, like the other porn star bitch did. What was that bitch who made a response to my video probably about a year ago now? I can't remember that bitch name. But she did facial abuse and all that shit. Yeah, she probably been watching the videos too and even commenting. Cause I don't give, you know why? Cause I don't give a fuck about her pussy. That's why. Yo, you wear your shirts tucked in or outside your jeans? Depends on how I'm feeling. Depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I wear the shirts tucked in. Sometimes I don't. Today I didn't wear the shirt tucked in. But sometimes I do. Seemingly okay. I think I tuck in my linen shirts more for some reason. I don't know why, but I do. I'll tuck those into some jeans and wear some boots with them. I will tuck in my shirt from time to time. Yeah, but this shirt I didn't. It's not tucked in. Here's the bottom of it right here. It's not tucked in, but it just depends on how I feel that day and what shirt I'm wearing. Felicity, yeah, that was her. What's up, Simon Lewis? What's up, man? You tuning in an hour late, but still all good. What's up, man? Yo, thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. I'm avoiding most upcoming movies. I wouldn't pay my money for that garbage. Everything is woke. Hey, yo, to be fair, Orphan 2 wasn't that bad. I mean, it was kind of like, okay, if anything, I think they were kind of making the father. Okay, so to be fair about Orphan 2, my quick opinion on it, the only part that I did think was really shitty and weird was that the father is still kind of held as this dummy in the movie. Like, he didn't realize that wasn't his daughter at all, and he was just the oblivious dummy who was just playing along, that this should be my daughter type of shit. So, I think in that case, Orphan 2 was still it was kind of playing into that typical male role of like the fathers are always complete morons and idiots type of shit, and everybody else knows what's going on except him. So they definitely kept that going, but to be fair, the plot twist was good enough where I could accept it. I would recommend the movie for that plot twist that happened. But I don't blame you for not going to see movies. I don't blame you, Rana. I don't know how you specifically pronounce it, but I always say it every time I read it. Or no, Dick McGuffin said that. Wait, I was reading the wrong. Okay, I was reading the wrong thing. Put that fireplace video on to make sure Microsoft Teams knows I'm available so I can relax. Word. What did the porn star say? Honestly, Koyan, I didn't even watch the video. I seen the response video, and she was sitting in front of some hay, and I just didn't. I watched it like 10 seconds and clicked off the shit. I just didn't even pay attention to it. Honestly, I just didn't even pay it attention. I did watch some of her videos. She got that flexibility. That was a good video. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. I think I think some kind of way I ended up looking. I seen she had an OnlyFans and all this shit like that, but yeah, she tried to. Yeah, that was yeah. The best, I'm telling you, man, overall, the best way you deal with them is that they don't exist. Because now they sitting around on standby waiting for you to write them and text them and all this shit and respond back to them and all that. They sitting around anxiously waiting because no guy's ever done that to me before. They sit around waiting on the motherfucker. It's probably been too long now. She probably done ran through a couple other dudes who didn't give a fuck about her. So she done forgot about me. But in that time period, I bet you she thought enough to sit down in front of a camera and make a whole video about this shit. The dumb bitch. She told him to sit down and make a fucking response. Yeah, she was fun. Yeah, she done forgot by now. With a bitch like that, she done had enough alphas and betas both to come through her doorstep. So she done forgot all about me by now. She'd have been pumped up with so much cock on her OnlyFans and all that shit. She don't even remember that shit no more. I only watch older movies for the most part. Specifically, mainly movies from the 80s and 90s. Word up. You remember that movie, Not Quite Human? I kind of want to watch that again. Not Quite Human. That's a good movie. The first one. I can't remember. I think the second one, he had a sister in it. A sister robot. But let me continue this. Okay. The debate on who should... Okay, yeah, this is where... Yeah. Where I left off at. See, because, again, feminism just destroys women. Well, women being in any type of power just destroys them. Step 8. I'm afraid of scaring guys off by being too feminist. The same way I'm hyper aware when guys are being insulting towards women, I'm also afraid that I'm going to come off as too harsh and dominant, which could easily scare guys away. Feminism is something I'm passionate about, but I also know how guys get insecure when I talk about it. I don't know what to do anymore. Okay. Women love to use this word insecure whenever the women know that it's really them that's at fault. They love to kind of deflect and put it on other people. Okay, no, Jennifer Lee, you're a cunt right now. Period. You're a cunt right now. You're being a cunt. She says, afraid that I'm going to come off as too harsh and dominant. Yeah, you're being a cunt. Because the guy's not walking in talking about men's rights and men. But you coming in doing all this shit. But at the same time, you want a man to agree with you, but then dominate you in bed and all that shit. You're just a confusing cunt. And it's not that he's insecure. It's that you're coming across a guy who's trying to make the best out of the situation, but you're just so god-awful to deal with that he doesn't know what to do. And he's just going to leave you on red next time because you're just not worth the trouble. You're being a cunt. Step 9. It's made us more separate from each other than ever before. Men and women already have so much trouble trying to understand each other, but feminism has turned our society into a bit of a battle of the sexes. I'm not on their side or anything. I'm just pouring out that we're currently in a sort of against them mentality, and it's going to take a while until it all smooths out. Yeah, well, based off of you being on here, you ain't got too much longer to wait till it smooths out. You better learn how to act real quick. Step 10. Every first date I go on, there's an elephant in the room. Well, yeah, you being the cunt. That's the elephant in the room. It's weird because we're doing the whole man seeking woman act when we got on dates. But we both know that this old way of seeing each other is on its way out. I'm not saying dating is dead, but I think we'll need to find a new way to be in relationships without falling into any sort of forced gender roles. I just don't think... God. See... I just don't think we know how to do it yet. Look, the gender role... look. This is another miscommunication. Women are so fucking confused and stupid. They think that men are forcing the gender roles onto them. Okay, men don't operate like this. Men sit around and we find whatever we're happy with. Women ended up employing what they want to do in their everyday culture, so then men will just work as usual. Men, we have to sit around, watch what bitches do, and then work around that to try to make everything work. Right? That gender role is already in you. You want this. Look, Jennifer Lee, personally speaking, you do not want a man that you have to pay for. You do not want a man you have to dominate. You do not want a man to be too nice to you. You do not want a man to be too overcaring and empathetic for you and oh, my sweetie, my sweetheart, good morning. You don't want this. Why? Because your gender doesn't want this. So guess what men have to do? Men see this, and then because men are the genuinely thoughtful and caring ones, we see how fucked up you are. Try to pick out pieces where we can work with it, work around it to keep you quarantined and maintained properly, and build from there. The gender role is not something men push on the women. It's what women did and men had to work around. Jennifer Lee, I would love to hear her dream guy. Because I guarantee you her dream guy wouldn't be a man she had to pay for. I guarantee you that. I would guarantee you her dream guy wouldn't be some guy who she had to schedule plans for and lead and all. I guarantee you that wouldn't be her dream guy. Let the bitch keep talking. I would guarantee you her dream guy wouldn't be, a man who would be beneath her completely. I guarantee you her dream guy would not be a man who would put her on a pedestal. I guarantee you it wouldn't. Who would her dream guy, if you keep breaking it down, who would her dream guy actually be? It'd be the guy that feminists hate. Keyword, feminist. Because feminists can't keep a man. And they mad because they can't get the man that they really want. And they done tricked another at least halfway decent, attractive woman into it. And got her believing a stupid shit. Again, there is no data anywhere that proves that woman wants to be a leader over a man that she has to fuck later. There is no data. You cannot find a scrap. If you don't believe me, go watch Alexander Grace. As Alexander Grace will go find scientific evidence and put the shit all on the screen. I just don't do it, but he'll do it. Alexander Grace will go out and do it in a convincing. I mean, he's got his own charisma. Go watch Alexander Grace. He'll go do it. Right? He'll put up the evidence of all the studies that's been done, everything. He'll do it. I just don't do it. But you will never find a study that will show you that a woman's, if the woman had a choice, that she would pick a man who's equal or lesser than her. Every woman, if you gave her the ultimate choice to pick a partner with no limits, she will always choose a man who's better than her. She will never choose a man who's lesser than her. Never. So with that knowledge, Jennifer Lee, why are you listening to retarded, dingbat, dumb bitch feminist? Why? Let me guess, because you got pumped up and you got mad at men and that was the reject group who brought you in and made you feel whole again? Was that it? That's the only reason I can think of at this point. It's unbelievable, man. Let me get Dark Rebel. Yeah, send her to Ukraine. Yeah, I say bitches like this. Send bitches like this to countries where well, yeah, send them to Ukraine to fight that war. Put them feminists over there to fight that war. Step one, and then step two, send bitches like this who are feminists. Put all these feminists in these countries where that they don't got time for feminism, and watch how well they do there. But I agree with you, Dark Rebel. If she's so strong as a feminist, yo, you woman and you strong, then go fight the war in Ukraine. Why has there not been one feminist conversation about it that's been made public and worldwide, and how they stand with Ukraine and all? How come you can't find one? Because that gender role happens. See, that gender role is a benefit now. So bitches, shut the fuck up. All them bitches, shut the fuck up. When that gender role hit Ukraine and that shit got real, you ain't hear none of them bitches talking about, I hate the gender role. I don't want the stereotypical gender role. All them bitches shut the fuck up and got the benefit they could get out of it. All of them did. If they can get it. Anthony says, I remember hearing a story about a feminist that was dating a biker. He would swing by on his bike and pick her up from her rally, tell her to shut up and get on. F her brains out and send her home. Yeah, that's y'all. Yeah, Anthony. Yeah. Bitches love guys who ride motorcycles. Motorcycles. Yeah. Because it's that rarity / independent shit. Yeah, bitches love motorcycles for sure. Bitches love. Yeah, they love that shit. I can believe it. Black Suit says she wouldn't tell you the truth about her dream guy. Yeah. Because her dream guy would be a dude who would get on top of her, dominate her, and tell her to shut the fuck up from time to time. That's her dream guy. The guy who would tell her to shut the fuck up, who would take charge. See, bitches love men who will take charge, but at the same time, communicate that they don't need the woman. Like, they cool with her as long as she's there, but they don't need her. That's the dream guy for a woman. So step 11. I swear guys are approaching me less. Well, yeah, because you probably getting older. That's why you on bold.com. And you probably just look like a cunt when you just walking around. I swear guys are approaching me less. Is it just me? Or are guys doing a lot more looking around and actually approaching? Well, okay, listen, bitch. When all you got to do is say a guy sexually assaulted you and everybody going to believe you, you expect men to go, you not worth that risk. Jennifer, you and all your other retarded feminist bitch friends, you not worth that risk. All you got to do is say a man sexually assaulted you or was abusive, and that man will lose his job, his flat, his car, his money, and everything because you just didn't like him and you felt the need to lie. You not worth that risk. You're just not worth it. I tell guys all the time. I think if you're in America, I think you should just save up money for a plane flight and fly to Amsterdam or Prague and just go to brothels and fuck beautiful women for about a week or two straight, and then just fly back to America and deal with it until you can save up the money, do it again. I would never advise an American man to approach an American woman, especially in this climate right now, for what idiotic feminists have convinced the world because women are always perfect angels. Well, but case in point, you, the bitch you poisoned her husband on camera, and they still giving her the benefit of the doubt because she's saying that she didn't do it, and she's on camera doing it. You not worth the risk, bitch. None of y'all are. And you expect the men, see, because that female entitlement. That female entitlement in you. It's that, oh, I'm a woman, so no matter what I do, I should deserve, I deserve men to risk something, for my comfort. The fuck out of here. You're not worth it, bitch. You're not worth it. No. If I had to go back to America, I would just jack my dick off the porn and so I can get the fuck out of North America. Now, luckily, I had some hooker friends and shit like that I knew from years ago. So I could, hook up with, if I wanted to, I could hook up with bitches. But if I didn't have them and I went back to, because I'm in Europe now, if I had to go back to North America, if I got deported again and I had to go back to North America when I got deported, I would jack my dick off the porn the entire fucking time until I got a plane flight to get the fuck out of there. Because what bitches can do to men in North America and the repercussions, well, not even repercussions, but just because a bitch just figured she just wanted to start drama and what that can lead to for an American man, bitch, you not worth that. And this is on a stream coming from Prague. Bitch, you not worth that. You not worth me losing. Well, now I got a kid in Prague now, so it's all good. I can always come back to Europe now. But before I had a kid, you could have fucked all this up just because you felt like you didn't like me and you didn't want the guy you really want to find out that you fucked me, so you said I raped you or some crazy shit. Because that shit happens a lot in colleges in America. You know how easy it is for a bitch to fuck your life up just because she just don't like you in America? You know how easy that shit is, dude? Just because a bitch just don't like you in America could fuck your whole life up. And that's just, how come men don't approach me? Bitch, because you're not worth that risk. Because you're worthless, fucking raggedy, used up, B-flat cunt is not worth that fucking risk. You're not worth that. Now, you can hop on Tinder and Bumble to get that revalidation. Go post a picture on Instagram or something like that and get a few hundred likes just because you bitch. And that's your natural fucking entitlement right as of right now in biology. But no, don't get confused. You are not worth the risk of a man approaching you. I would never advise an American man to approach. There is not one American man I would advise that, yeah, you should approach her. And she's talking feminine shit too? No, just no. I would never advise, I would not advise any man to approach you, ever. You are in the boat you're supposed to be in. It's just coming clear to you that this is the boat you're in and it's starting to suck, but you're exactly where you deserve to be. Because what women have done in North America, you did it. So live with it. Like I said, man, I really wish America wasn't as far as I really wish North America was not as far away from the rest of the world as it is. Because if it was closer, American men would have just left. They would have just left and just never went back. If America was within a 2-hour flight of the rest of the world, Canada and America, if Canada and America was within a 2-hour flight and a language and take away that language barrier, if they was that close to the rest of the world, American women would have had to learn how to act better a whole lot quicker, because American men would have just went off and just left the bitches a long time ago. But American men, they're stuck for one reason or another, whether they're just scared to fly that long over water, or they just don't have the money, or they're just scared to just travel alone like that. Because they think, because they get to reading stories or watching movies and think everything's going to be like the movie Hostel, for whatever reason. And that's the only thing keeping you bitches in power over there. That's it. So enjoy it. Just like every American woman who comes over here, she ends up on the first plane flight she can find back to America, because she's not used to actually having to employ character. You see how that works? There is no reason. She says, I swear guys are approaching me less. There's no reason why any man should even be approaching you. I wouldn't. There's no reason for me to. I mean, I have a child now in Prague, but I have no reason to approach you. For what? To risk you getting mad and just spreading some rumor. Next thing you know, I'm a serial rapist because you just didn't like me, or you figured just something happened and you felt the need to just say I raped you, and then everybody's gonna believe you. There's no reason. You not worth that. So yeah, that's it, man. Oh, okay. I just want to skim through this. Another reject bitch. Who's Amanda Chattel? Another reject bitch. 12 reasons you're single, even though you're a catch. Single as fuck. Another bitch that can't keep no man. And this isn't her. This is a stock photo. This is not Amanda. So who is Amanda? I'm trying to find what Amanda actually looks like, because that's not Amanda. Yeah, so this is looking like her. Yep. She's want to be. Yeah. See that's Amanda. Which, to be honest, she's not like the worst looking woman, but she's not this woman. Okay. She's not this woman. Yo, thanks for a $30 donation. Let me catch this. For Sputum Cash. Yo, thanks for the big $30 donation. Thank you, brother, for the great work. I would love to meet you in person. Well, yeah, come to Prague. Yo, I still feel bad about somebody who came to Prague and I just couldn't meet him, man, because my kid was born like that next night. and everything was fucked up, man. But that's the only person that I never got to meet who came to Prague to meet me, man. But yeah, if you come out here, like I said, I promised him I'd meet him, but like, yo, Kratos was born. I was supposed to meet him that next day, but that night at 3 a.m., Kratos was born. He was born at 2:50 a.m. But yeah, yo, thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm in Prague, man. Like I said, I got a baby here. I'm here for for the unforeseen. But thanks again for the donation. Thanks a lot for the $30 donation, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, okay, so back to this. She's not the worst looking woman, man. She's not the worst looking woman. But yeah, okay, she's been influenced by feminism, short hair, tattoos. She's free and do whatever I want. She don't. Okay, answer me this, Amanda. Amanda Chattel. Why didn't you use your own picture, even though you got your own website over here? What made you choose to use this picture? Seriously, why would you choose to use a picture of a woman who is clearly desirable? Right? How come you didn't use you got all these pictures? Why didn't you choose to use this picture? Why did you choose to use a picture of a woman who at least looks like she has a somewhat of a caring smile and could be reasonable to talk to? 12 reasons you're single even though you're a catch. Yeah, I know. Oh, real quick, y'all see at the top here it says Amanda Chattel. Let that Google him. I just learned this about Czech grammar. So that Google him, that means with, right? So like Czech language is really weird with grammar. So I don't know if you guys can see this. So in this window right here, well, you can't see it when I click on it, but you can't see it. So I don't know if it's blinking on the fucking. Let me see if it's blinking. No, well, I can't see it. So where it says right here, like above the search engine, Amanda Chattel. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but it says Hledat Google him, right? Google him means like with Google, but not all the time though, because the like literally just the letter S can mean like with, but it's like but the M signifies like, so it says search with, like Hledat means search, and then Google him means like with Google. I just learned that not too long ago. So I was always wondering what that meant. I didn't know what it mean. So yeah, step 1, you don't believe it's settling. Step 2, you're waiting to meet someone worthy of your awesomeness. Yeah. Step 3 is always some ads. Step 4, you don't need a man to validate your existence. Yeah, but you still single as fuck, man, and you wondering why you a catch but can't find no man. I know. You're too busy living your life. You're focused on your career. You got yeah. Yeah, I know, man. She looks like she used to pee standing up, or she wants to. Yeah. No, my son's name is not really Kratos. No, his name is not Kratos. I just called him that. I got about 4 or 5 nicknames for him, and they come out randomly. But no. Because for a while, I even had my dad calling him Kratos. And I said, no, I sent him the actual, birth information. His name's not Kratos. I'm just really weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird about it, or maybe I'm not weird. But I just don't want... Because here's the thing, man. A lot of people put their whole social lives on the internet. And I just don't... Maybe I'm just a little old school with that. And I'm 36. I'm saying I'm old school. But maybe I'm a little old school with that. Like, I just don't agree with just putting... Like, I'll tell you guys, deeper parts of my personal life. But when it comes to other people's lives in any kind of way, I'm really strict about not sharing, either identifying information or, like, personal, like, deeper stories. I'm just real strict with that. But no, his name is not... His legal name is not Kratos, no. I just call him that. I call him, but like I even had my dad calling him Kratos, because I wanted to get him that little baby Kratos statue. My dad sent a picture of a baby Kratos, like a baby Kratos statue. I was gonna get him that, but now I got a few nicknames for him. That motherfucker was wild. Well, he was cool today. He slept all night last night. He slept from 10:30 to 7 a.m. He slept straight through too. We're lucky with this day-night cycle, man. We got real lucky with that. Probably because we really worked at keeping him in his crib. There was a few nights where he slept in the bed, but we really worked at keeping him in the crib. So I think we might have got a little lucky with a few other areas. But I'll tell you one thing that we're not practicing that, like we should, is that tummy time shit where they gotta like learn, where you gotta put them on their stomach, lay them down on their stomach, and make them lift their head up, because they gonna cry all the way through it. But I haven't been doing that. When he lays on my chest, he'll fuck around and start getting his head. He'll hold his head up, ways up, but he doesn't know. I think he doesn't know to do tummy time properly when he's like laying down on the table. I don't think he really understands it, because when he's like, if I put him on my chest and lay down, he'll pick his head up. But when he's laying down like on a hard table, I don't think he knows to do it. My son's middle name is Achilles. Word up. That's cool. That's gangster as fuck. You should have made this as a middle name. Yo, the thing, Big Black, they don't do middle names over here. They don't do middle names in Czech, which I still could. I mean, I could put it as a middle name, but they don't do middle names over here. So when you hear like a Czech person, like, they don't do middle names. But I could. I mean, we still couldn't make it as middle name, no. But what does your girl think about calling him Kratos? Oh, George, or Jorge, however you want to pronounce that. No, you would pronounce that. You wouldn't pronounce that Jorge, I don't think. Well, she was calling him Kratos. She still can't call him by his real name. Like, she still has a hard time saying his real name. So I gotta start calling him by his real name to get her comfortable with calling him his real name. But I got like 3 or 4 nicknames for him. It just depends on what comes out, at that time. Like I said, everybody was calling him Kratos, man. I had everybody calling. At first, motherfuckers was like, yeah, don't call him that. And then after about a month or two, everybody was calling him that. Like, it was just his name. That'd be funny for a black Czech boy to have a Greek name. Yeah. Let me use the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right back, and then I'm going to end this stream out. Let me use the bathroom, and I'm going to come right back. Let me put it on here, because I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get off here in a bit. So I gotta get to this meeting. It's funny how most of the fam don't even know where the name comes from. Oh yeah, no. I had to show my dad the picture. Yeah, from God of War. Yeah. My daughter's name is Athena. That's a good name for a girl. I like that name for a girl. That's a good name, Athena. I like that. What it do, AD? Quick question, man. Could you elaborate on what game is? Do men need it? Why and why not? Wow. I don't have enough time to go through that, because I gotta get off here, because I got a meeting to be at. I gotta do a meeting on this fucking computer shit. Thanks for the stream. YouTube isn't sending me notifications. YouTube, man, yo, that's not. If I knew how to fix it, I would, man. That's YouTube side of it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, Black Suit. I don't know, Black Sweet. Jason's we all have Greek mythology names. That's cool. Can he support his head now? Mo? No. Yes and no. So he can support, like if I hold him like this, he's getting better. Well, yeah, he can support his head at like, if I hold him, right, and I'm like carrying him, he'll lean he'll put his hands on my chest and he always looks to his right, never looks to his left. He always looks to his right and is interested in something that he can hold his head. I still hold his head, of course, but he can hold his head in that direction. I think about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, he went through this phase where he would just throw his head back. He would just throw it back type of shit. So now he's going through the phase where he's headbutting me, he's throwing it, I'll be holding him and he'll just throw his head forward for no reason type of shit. But when I'm holding him, he can if I'm holding him, I can hold him and I don't have to hold his head. I can just hold him by because sometimes when I hold him, I put his right arm is coming out of this part of my hand type of shit. And I'm hold him like that, and I'll use my fingers to just monitor his head type of shit. I hold him like that, and for the most part, he can hold his head up. He doesn't need the help. Yeah, okay, the audio's working. So yeah, but he can't fully. Because actually today I was putting him in a car seat in the car, and I kind of took for granted how much he can hold, and he happened to end up kind of standing in the car seat, and I figured he would just stand in the car seat, how car seats kind of lean back, and I put him in the car seat, but he was he was standing a little bit. I figured he'd just hold himself up while I figured it out, and he fucked around and leaned his head forward, fell all over the shit. He fucked around and hit one of these, and he didn't know how to pick his head back up and just fell off. As I caught him pretty much halfway through it, because if I didn't catch, he would have fell he just would have tumbled out the car seat. But yeah, again, to catch him, yeah. But yeah, no, But no, and he's starting to understand, he's 8 weeks old now, so he's understanding, he wants to get a voice without it having to come from crying. He's starting to figure that out, so he's starting to do the whole, that type of shit. He's, to get the voice come out, and he's figuring out how to smile a little more. It's slowly every day he's figuring out how to smile a little more. Like he said, he's 8 weeks. Because, Mo, I think you got a kid, right? I don't know how old you... I can't remember. If you may have told me, I may have forgotten. I'm sorry if I forgot. But yeah, I think you say you have a kid. So you're further ahead in this than I am, for sure, man. Because I'd never dealt with a newborn. Every kid I ever dealt with was bigger. They were out the newborn phase, every kid I had was manageable with a smartphone. Okay. You give them a smartphone or iPad, and they was good. They was fine. Yo, thanks, Pipped Out Platypus. Late as a motherfucker, but I finally got on. Word up. Snatch McGuffin. Yo, I gotta get out of here, man. Yo, thanks for tuning in and the donations and the likes and the comments and everything. Yo, I gotta get out of here because I gotta get that meeting soon, man. So hey, I'm gonna try to live stream tomorrow. If not on here, I'm gonna finish Ninja Turtles because I know I'm at the end. I know I'm coming to the end of Ninja Turtles. I'm not too far away from the end on PC, so I'm gonna try to play that. If I don't do just a regular live stream, I'm gonna do that. But we'll see. But I'm definitely gonna live stream tomorrow either way. Unless something crazy happens, I'm gonna live stream tomorrow. So I'm gonna get out of here. Yo, thanks for tuning in. Yo, and you say you just tuned in late, Pimped Out Platypus. But yo, thanks for tuning in, man. I'm gonna leave this up for a little while too. And I'll catch y'all later, man. Yo, hopefully tomorrow. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. But I'll catch y'all out later. Peace out. Uh-oh, where's it at? Here it is.